You're live.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday here at KVGI Radio in Frisco, Texas. In the new studio, looking good. This is Urshel Metcalf with Urshel Speaks, and we got a good one for you today. So here we are on the last Tuesday of February already. This year is off and running. We're about to be in March, and I tell you what, it's been a good year. Lots of new things happening, lots of stuff going on. Want to jump into that, and want to thank you for tuning in. Everyone that was sending messages and concern last week. KVGI, man, I tell you what, every time I come, it's looking better. They're making so many advancements in the new studio and office space. If you get a chance, give them a shout. Come check it out. And again, going to be looking for lots of new sponsors and relationships. Good things are happening. So make sure that you like and follow KVGI Radio and KVGI Studios so that you know all the great things that are going on. I know they had a big week. I'm excited to hear about what happened with KVGI and Project Reload with their Casino Royale last week. I saw some pretty cool stuff on Facebook. Just somebody you want to be connected with. You want to make sure that you know what's going on KVGI and definitely what's happening here with Urshel Speaks. I got a great show for you today. Some things that conversations have been leading up to, and so I'm going to jump right into it. And we'll get to some sponsorships later. But we've been talking and having a conversation over the last few months that really has not only been an extension of or an expression of Urshel Speaks and the words of wisdom that we did previously, and we've been talking. Last time we talked about purpose, and today I want to focus really on really two things, and we're going to talk today about passion. We're coming up at the time of the year that's a discussion, but I want to talk about passion. But then I want to follow that up with something that without this extra thing, without this added element, passion really doesn't get you anywhere. So, but let's start out with this conversation on passion. All right, so let's get it. Let's jump right into it. So what is passion? There's a lot of ways. I was thinking about this yesterday and having some conversation and just beginning to talk about passion and things that people are passionate about, and talking about a passionate person or a cause that someone has passion for. When you begin to use that language, you can almost feel your posture, your internal energy level, your temperature start to elevate, because that's a part, I believe, of what passion is. And it's something that typically flows from the heart of an individual or a cause. When a person is passionate about something, it's not just always about reason or logic or something that just in has to totally make sense. There's something that is an internal drive when it comes to passion, and it can be both seen and felt, and maybe not even always perfectly explained. When a person is passionate, when their blood burns, when their heart burns for something, and so passion is really, it's a really important part of life. And here's the challenge that I think that we face. How many people are really living their life being driven and being focused on passion? Yesterday was Monday, and people, always, the challenges with Monday, Monday morning and all of these things. Well, the people who love Mondays, who really love Mondays, are the people who are passionate about what they do, passionate about the life that they're living. And they love Mondays just as much as they love Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And they don't just celebrate Friday, because Monday is not just a day that, oh, I've got to start the work week again. Monday is energized by the reality that I am focused on doing what my heart is passionate about. And, and everyone doesn't get to do that specifically as a job. And, some people do. And here's my thought. And I can tell you, I'm part of the reason why I'm talking about this because I'm really in this moment right now. I'm really in this moment of saying, there are lots of ways to go out and make money, and there are lots of things that you can do. And some people, I was having a conversation with someone over the weekend, and talking about the challenges of being a person who may or may not have lots of different talent or different things that you're capable of doing or doing well, or different things that you're capable of doing and earning money. And those things may or may not be the things that you're passionate about. And so maybe you don't get up every day and your job is the thing that you're most passionate about. So you have to decide, how do I get my passion to line up with my daily existence, which is extremely important. And I'm going to say that again. How do I get my passion to line up with my daily existence? And again, if your job, for example, you've heard me talk about my father, so I had an example of this since, day one of my life. I had an example of someone who got up every day, and what they did for a living is what they were passionate about and what they were created to do. And with my father, he was a chef and he loved it. And it was one thing for us to experience and other people to experience externally what he did, and how his culinary creations, how it impacted us when we put something that he made in our mouths, and we're, just totally blown away. But what was so much more powerful than that was seeing him work, not just experiencing the outcome of his work, but seeing him do what he loved to do, and the enthusiasm and the joy and the fire that he did it with. And again, we all don't necessarily at this moment, on this day, we all don't necessarily get to wake up and say, this is the thing. Or when we're going to talk about this in the final segment, how do I even necessarily get to that thing, the thing that I'm passionate about? How do I make that a reality in my life? Because I'm holding down this 9 to 5, or I'm doing this job, or I've been working in this career for a long time, and I don't want to lose my tenure or lose my benefits or whatever. So we'll talk about that. But there's another part of it, just in this regard. If it's not what you do, on a day-to-day job, how do you generate passion about what it is that you're doing? If it's not what you dream about, or what really catches your heart on fire. And again, I think the real key is understanding this one thing about passion. And before we get into this other element that you have to add to passion, because I'm going to tell you that we're going to talk about this, and maybe the end of this segment and the next segment. So you want to tune in, you want to share this with someone, because my intention today is to I can't really start anyone's fire. Maybe I can, but I definitely can add some fuel. So my intention today for all of us, starting with me, is to make sure that we are stoking one another's fire and our passion and our zeal for life. And, and if we do that, if we're doing that, then we're also doing our part. And for me, pretty simple. That's a part of my passion, is stoking other people's fire, helping other people realize and maximize the potential of who and what they can be, to motivate, to inspire, to educate, and to educate so that people are able to achieve more in whatever way. And so that passion that we're talking about, again, if it's not your job, then here's one thing that you have to remember. Passion is an internal thing. And you can always control your perspective and your attitude about everything that's external. And you can control your perspective and your attitude about the things that you cannot control, the external things that you don't have necessarily the power over. And one of the keys is to remember and to establish inside of yourself every single day on Monday morning, what is my mark of greatness today? How can I be great today? And when you establish that, when Sunday night you're doing exactly what it takes to make sure that Monday is going to be great. When you wake up on Monday morning, Tuesday morning, whenever, and you have already set your intentions of excelling at whatever is in front of you that day, even if your job is not the thing that you're most passionate about, what happens is you're generating internally passion for the moment that you're living in. And let me tell you why that's important. If you know the answer to this question, then go on Facebook and or send me a message, or if you have my phone number, text me. If you know the answer to this question, then let me know. How many moments do you have left? How many days do you have left? How much time do you have to waste not being passionate and loving life and letting that passion be the thing that drives you and that moves you forward with intensity? See, I don't know the answer to that question for me, and I definitely don't know the answer to that question for you. But what I do know is that I can fill up the moments that I have with more power, with more impact, if I move, if I preempt that day with passion, and I drive myself towards impact and fulfillment, regardless of what the circumstance is. So forget about the things that you can't control, or the things that you can't necessarily change in this particular day or this particular moment. Forget about that. Don't worry about that, because those things are going to be there. That job, the traffic, that irritating person, whatever, that's going to be there whether you're passionate or not. But bringing your passion to the table, bringing everything that you have and preparing your mindset to operate on a level of passion and intensity, that's what you bring to the table. And here's what that does. That has an impact on the external things that you can't change. And the impact isn't those external things change. The impact is you're different. The impact is you look at them differently. They don't have the effect on you that brings you down. I may have talked about Bill Hybels and what he said about chemistry for someone that he hires with a person that is a direct report for him. And he said, when he hires someone that he's going to work with every day, one of the things that he wants is chemistry. When they walk in the room, he said, I judge whether I get a lift or whether I get a drag based on that person walking in the room. And that's not necessarily a judgment on that person, good, bad, or whether they're competent or have the character to do the job. It's really just a matter of him saying, I'm going to, as much as possible, control the environment around me so that what is coming out of me will be optimal. My ability to have the greatest impact is going to be as high as it can be, so that my passion comes through in everything that I'm doing, so that it's seen, that it's felt, and it's experienced. But when we come back in the next segment, we're going to talk about something as important as passion is, and as much as I want all of us to live a life full of passion and be driven by that passion. There's another element that if you don't have it, it almost doesn't matter how passionate you are. It almost doesn't matter how much you care about this particular thing or how great you want to be in a specific area. So take a little time, refresh your coffee, do whatever you need to do, but make sure you let somebody know that we're talking about passion. And I got another word for you. And that word on the other side is the thing that is going to help you make your passion a reality and help you make a difference. So come back on the other side of this break and join me on Urshel Speaks, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes. All right.
25, 35, 50, or older? If you have pain, we can help. Do your knees hurt?
Ow.
Let me ask you again. Are your knees killing you?
Oh, yeah. Are they ever?
What about your back? When you bend over, does it feel like this? How about when you get out of bed in the morning? If you're like me, your knees and back feel like this.
Oh, that hurts.
I found a company called the Pain Relief Hotline. They specialize in ways to treat your knee, back, and neck pain without surgery or taking medications. The good news is if you have insurance, you may have little or no cost or out-of-pocket expense. I've used them. It works. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now for free information. 800-427-0183. 800-427-0183. Call now. 800-427-0183. That's 800-427-0183.
It's hot outside, and it's only going to get hotter this summer. Your solution? Visit Audio Depot and get your windows tinted. Right now, Audio Depot is offering Formula One from Lumar, the film with the best heated UV protection, so you can keep your interior looking new and you and your passengers comfortable. Swing by Audio Depot in Arlington at 4312 Matlock Road, or call 817-466-2441. You can log on to our website at audiotodepot.com and like us on Facebook. Just search Audio Depot. Remember to stay cool with Formula One and Audio Depot this summer.
KVGI Radio is now available in 3 downloadable apps. KVGI Radio for all your daily talk shows.
Oh, you lied to fit in. That's so cute.
KVGIX for the music lovers. And KVGI Sports. Well, for anything sports related. We're always live, without limits.
I was 35 when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. My ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me. I felt hopeless. He called Elite Rehab Placement because I couldn't make the call. I was ashamed. I was given skills to manage my sadness and my anger, and more importantly, I'm 3.5 years sober. I'm so grateful for all their help. And all it took was making one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-918-1376. 800-918-1376. 800-918-1376. That's 800-918-1376.
Welcome Home Radio with Blair Thomas and Tom Holm. Join this lively crew every Wednesday at noon.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Then call Page Publishing ASAP. We're looking for authors of all types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to us. And we'll give you our feedback. And if we like what we read, we will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. We handle everything. Editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publicity, and distribution. So if you've written a novel, children's book, cookbook, inspirational work, poetry, or a biography and want to get it published, call Page Publishing now for your free author submission kit. Your road to fame and fortune could very well start with this simple phone call.
Call now, 800-219-8262, 800-219-8262, 800-219-8262. That's 800-219-8262.
All right. This is Urshel Metcalf on Urshel Speaks, and on a fired up Tuesday morning here, and we are still pushing everybody towards living a life on purpose and living a life full of passion. So that's what we're talking about today. And I can't wait to tell you about part of the reason why this is the fire that's burning inside of me right now. And some of you out there listening, thank you so much for everyone that's listening. Please make sure to like and share and help us grow this show and the message that we're creating, because this year planning on having more of an impact than we've ever had, and bringing some opportunities that are really going to allow both us and other people to benefit from what I feel like, in all honesty, what I feel like I've been created to do. So I want to see a whole new level of things for Urshel Speaks coming up this week, or this year, and starting with this week. So we've been talking about passion in the first segment and how important passion is, and to live with passion and to live with a fire that's generated from the inside, and not just to be driven by the external things in life, or to be tossed around and pushed around by the things that you can't control. And, passion is very important. We all love to see people who are passionate about what they do. We all love experiencing that, and it's inspiring. But let me tell you something that I want to talk about in this segment as we push this thought about passion. Let me tell you something, that if you don't have this, no matter how passionate you are, you're probably not going to accomplish much. You're probably not going to hit the mark. And more importantly, you're probably not going to achieve as much as you could and have the internal impact that you desire and that you deserve about your own life, or have the external impact that other people need for you to have. I mean, here's the thing, that you are created. Every single one of us is created with purpose. Every single one of us was created for impact. None of us was born to be insignificant or to just mail it in every day. You may have heard this story, because I repeat myself sometimes, but I remember as a young kid, and we were living in Marble Falls, and one of the things that I used to do, there's probably a few, you can call and ask my brothers if you need some more, but one of the things that I used to do that I know used to annoy my two big brothers, I'm the youngest of three boys, is that I loved reading as a kid, and as a result, I would read everything that I saw, and I would read it out loud. That's the annoying part. And so being, the three boys sitting in back of the car and mom and dad in the front of the car, I would, everything that I saw, I would read it out loud. And, even through the elbows and the shut up juniors and everything else that they would say and do, it was just something I did that was kind of annoying for them. But here's one of the things. I remember being in the car with my dad one time, and we were driving, and I read a bumper sticker, and the bumper sticker said, I owe, so off to work I go, right? And I read that out loud, and, it kind of rhymed, and of course, so I said it, and my dad said, what is shame? And I was like, shame? And he's like, what is shame? He said, for a person to only get up, for their only motivation to get up and go to work is because they owe other people money, that's a sad existence. Nobody should live that way. And I never forgot that short little conversation with my father about the fact that there's got to be more that drives you, and there has to be passion that drives you. Well, let me back up. There doesn't have to be passion. You can mail it in. You can live a life with a lack of drive and significance, and you can just get up and kind of drone through life and experience every day what a lot of us experience when we're driving home from work or the grocery store, or some place that we drive and go to every single day. You can do that. You know how times you drive home and you pull up in your driveway and then you don't actually remember going through the process of driving? It's kind of like you just showed up there, because that's almost like, I think it is actually a state and a phase of hypnotism that, you're just kind of, it's almost like a a muscle memory sort of thing that allows you to go through that process because you've been doing it every single day. And that's how some people live life. And it's easy in our circumstance to live life that way, but that is no way to live life based on what we've been given and based on the opportunity that we have. So here's the thing. If you have passion, if you know what you're passionate about, and again, if you don't and you need help with that, man, I'm here to help you. We'll talk about it in the third segment. But if you have passion, if you know what you're passionate about, and you want to live a life of passion, let me tell you the second ingredient that you have to have if you're going to achieve what you're supposed to achieve. And without this, passion really doesn't do very much for you. And that's urgency. If you have passion, but you don't have urgency, a sense of urgency, then your passion alone isn't going to drive you to accomplish very much. You can have things that you really care about and you think about, and you know, you hear it at the barbershop, you hear it, you know, at the bar, you know, you hear people talk about things and they get so passionate, or you hear people talk about what they want to do. You know, you hear, you know, the New Year's resolutions and all of these things, and people talking about their passion and feeling their temperature and their desire build up in that conversation. But if you don't add to that instantly, if you don't add to it a sense of urgency, then your passion isn't going to drive you to greatness, and it's not going to drive you to accomplish very much at all. I don't care if you have a sales job. I don't care if Mark Keith is on here, and I think Lucy Cobb is even listening. If you're in fitness, these friends of mine, they're trainers. And if you don't have the sense of urgency that makes you get up and do it, that makes you get up and actually put some feet on your faith of what you believe that you can accomplish, then guess what? You'll be talking about the same thing 6 months from now or 6 years from now. Here's where passion is exemplified. And I'm going to tell a story, and all the facts are going to be, kind of shady because I don't remember the story exactly. I don't even remember the name of the guy, but here's the story, and it's going to work either way. So there's a basketball player, he's a young basketball player in his first or second season. Again, I don't even remember his name, but it doesn't even matter. And this guy grew up admiring and aspiring to be like Kobe Bryant. And I don't know if this was on a 30 for 30. And if you know this story, then, just send me a message and tell me what details I'm missing. But here's the deal. He was getting ready to play in a game versus Kobe Bryant for the first time in his professional career. So now here he is, a young guy, a young stud in the league, and he's getting ready to play against one of his former idols. And he wanted to perform. He wanted to bring it. And so here's what he did. He, before the game, and a lot of players do this, he went out a couple of hours before the game, went into the practice gym and started working. He was going to start working on his moves, get his sweat going, get his mind right, establish his muscle memory, just do what you do for game prep as an NBA player. When he walked into the gym, guess who was on the other end, already sweating and already working? It was Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was already down there working his moves, acting like he was in a game and just going hard down on the other end of the court by himself. And so the guy, he started doing the exact same thing on his end of the court. And, he was planning to do that, for about 15 minutes. And 15 minutes came and went. Kobe's still down there working hard, so he kept going. And so he added another 5 minutes, and then he added another 10 minutes. Kobe's still down there working. 45 minutes. He's down here working hard, and Kobe is at the other end working even harder. And said so after 45 minutes, he decided, he was done. He, went back in the locker room, do his stretches, whatever else he needed to do to prepare for the game. After the game, Kobe Bryant, he said Kobe Bryant dropped like 47 points on them in that game, torched them for 47 points. And he said he went to Kobe after the game, and after Kobe had just, worked them. And he said, Kobe, I came out to warm up before the game, and I saw you down there. You were already sweating. And, and I was trying to stay out there as long as I could. And he said, how long did you work and prepare before the game? And how long were you planning on being out there? And Kobe said, I was going to be out there 15 minutes longer than you were. And and he realized that, that Kobe's intention was, I am going to outwork. I have a sense of urgency that says that even though I'm the most talented, even though I love basketball, even though I have a level of skill that is above almost everybody, and some might say at the time he was playing, above everybody else in the league, I still have a sense of urgency that combines with my passion that drives me to work harder, to show up earlier, to stay later, to put in the work that everybody else would say that I don't need to work. This is easy conversation to have when we're talking about athletes. Michael Phelps, his body, forget the fact that, of just the talent he has. I saw a thing on him. It's like his body was made that outside of being a fish, his body is genetically made for him to be a great swimmer. But that didn't stop him from being in the water every morning at 5 a.m. and putting in the work and eating right. Do you know how much easier it is when you have an extreme talent? There's a young man, some of you don't know him, he's listening right now. His name's Josh McIntosh. And I've known this guy since he was, just a little boy. And he has always had musical talent, just innate musical talent. And it was obvious from almost the very beginning. He's one of those special people that just has something, that music is in their bones. But here's the thing. I see videos of him now practicing, putting in the work, putting in the time on multiple instruments, right? Because when you're really passionate, you have to combine that with a sense of urgency that says, I'm not doing this because I have to do it. I'm doing this because I know that there's a greatness that's attached to my skill, to my ability, but that doesn't just automatically happen. I don't get to just show up and be great. And even if other people think I'm great, and here's the trap, especially when you're talented, here's the trap. Sometimes your talent blows other people away and they're like, oh, wow. But if you're not putting in the work, if you're not letting that sense of urgency keep you pushing yourself and driving you to the greatness, to be a great business person, to be a great father, to be a great mother, to be, whatever it is that is in front of you to do today, that you say that you're passionate about. If you don't let this sense of urgency be the driving force, let the passion be the fuel that drives you every single day, but that sense of urgency comes along as an accountability partner to say, you know what? If you want to be great, if you want to achieve, if you want to live your passion, then you can't mail it in on any day. You've got to drive. You've got to make sure that every day I'm doing something to be better. Every day I'm doing something to move the needle. Every day I'm doing something to have a greater impact. That's what we're created for. Think about this for a second. Think about if every person in your home or every person in your community or every person in Dallas, Fort Worth, or in the United States, think about if for 30 days, everybody was living full on with passion. Everybody was moving with a sense of urgency to be and to do something great. Because we really have created a society and have accepted a mentality where we can mail it in. We really can't just kind of exist and go through life. We have so much technology and so much convenience. And we don't even have to leave our homes. We are at a point that the 7-Eleven that is less than 1/10 of a mile from my house, the 7-Eleven that is less than 1/10 of a mile, I can walk from my front door and be inside 7-Eleven in like a minute and a half. And they deliver. 7-Eleven. Think about where we've gotten to when the convenience store delivers because we need so much convenience that we don't even want to have to go and get our own candy bar or Slurpee. We want it brought to us. And again, nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with the advancements in life. But if we're going to live in passion and we're going to make sure that we have the impact that we were created for, we have to allow ourselves to be governed by a sense of urgency that makes us get up every day and make a difference and not just talk about it and not just dream about it. Dreams are great. Get up and do something. And let that sense of urgency combined with your passion, let that be the thing that keeps pushing you and raises that watermark every single day, every single week, and every single month. So every time you lay your head on the pillow, every time you get to the end of a week, you can look back and feel great, feel amazing about the impact and what you brought to the day. My name is Urshel. This is Urshel Speaks. We're going to come back in the third segment, going to give you some steps to help you in finding that passion if you haven't.
Do with your old car. You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-639-8620. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car. And as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-639-8620. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-639-8620. That's 1-800-639-8620.
Experience the rush, the thrill, the heart-pounding joy of speed. Cartland Performance Indoor Raceway brings you high-octane fun this summer. How about planning a birthday party for your high-energy kids? What about an incredible team-building event for your corporation? Cartland Performance Indoor Raceway has all this and more. Cartland Performance Indoor Raceway is a 50,000 square foot facility in Frisco, Texas. State-of-the-art electric go-karts hit speeds up to 45 miles an hour. Fun, food, and entertainment for the entire family ages 6 and up. Americans always want to know who is the fastest. Find out for yourself at Cartland Performance Indoor Raceway. Family owned and operated at 10550 John W. Elliott Drive, Frisco, Texas. Zip code 75033. Find out more. Check us out online at cartland.com. Bring your family, bring your buddies, bring your company to Cartland Performance Indoor Raceway. Or check us out online, cartland.com.
Small World Realty is a unique brokerage that caters to both full and especially part-time agents. We are looking for 3 types of associates. Those who are just starting and need hand-holding throughout the entire process. Those with other obligations such as full-time jobs, stay-at-home parents, investors, or even those tired of the corporate world who want to change. And those who are existing agents who have figured out how to work in real estate on their own but still want a full-service broker available for constant support at a very low cost. Owner Robert Mesh has impeccable ethics and an excellent track record. He still insists on being the primary contact late at night and is one of the few brokers in the state of Texas that personally reviews all documents before a third party touches them. Feel free to visit smallworldrealty.com and look for Small World Realty in social media. You can email Robert at smallworldrealty.com or simply call him at 214-683-8973. Small World Realty, home to the smoker broker.
Ever wonder how the credit card companies make their money? Well, think about this. If you owe $25,000 on 5 different credit cards and you make your minimum payments every month, here's what it's going to cost you. Are you sitting down? You'll shell out over $13,000 in additional interest, and it's going to take over 13 years to pay off your original $25,000 balance. That's how they make money. Now it's your turn to fight back by calling the Debt Solutions Network. We'll work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. We promise we can and will reduce your debt. Call right now for a free 15-minute debt analysis. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297.
Looking for something different? How about joining
Last one.
hosts Stuart
Thank you,
Sachs
sir.
and Ron Lohead every Friday morning at 11 a.m. with something to talk about. An hour of open discussion and lively entertainment, covering just about anything and everything. Right here on KBGI Radio.
Well, all right, here we are for the final segment of Urshel Speaks Today, and this segment is brought to you by Dean McCurry Auction Services. Listen, if you have a nonprofit or something, a school, a church, whatever that you raise funds for, and you are doing either galas or balls or that sort of thing, and especially if you do live auctions or silent auctions, you need to reach out to my friend Dean McCurry at dmauctionservices.com. And I'll tell you why. I'll give you 3 reasons why Dean is someone that you need to know and that you need to connect with. He has 3 things that are going to help you not only raise more funds for the thing that you're passionate, that you care about, but it's also going to allow you in your event to focus on the people, the donors, and the people that you're trying to help, because he has a great team, and he has a team of licensed auctioneers. He's got a team of raffle girls, everything that you need. So they're going to bring a great team that is going to help you so that you can actually enjoy your event and your guests. He has technology that is going to help you from even before you start your event, even the week before. You can start raising funds. You can get your people into the event, not having to wait in those long lines when they're standing there in tuxedos and gowns or whatever. But they're going to be able to come right in, find their table, all of those things that make the beginning of an event a little bit annoying, and the end of an event after they've bid and they've done all of these things and they want to collect whatever they've won in the silent auction. They're not going to have to stop at a table and give their credit card. They're going to take care of all of that stuff so seamlessly and transition from one thing to the next so well that the experience of your event is going to be greater because of their technology, and they're going to bring the talent. When you see people who are professional and who have been working really hard to help other people raise funds and do what it is that you're there to do, you're going to see that the team, the talent, and the technology that Dean McCurry Auction Services brings to your event is really going to help you maximize your fundraising opportunities. Usually you get 1 or 2 times a year to really get people in a room to share your passion and for them to be philanthropic and give to you. So reach out to Dean McCurry, dmauctionservices.com. Give him a call. Tell him Urshel sent you. I've done some great events with him and his team, and I guarantee you they're going to help you all the way through the planning process, the execution, and then delivering that big fat check of what you raised. So Dean McCurry Auction Services, give him a call. All right, here we are in the last segment today, talking about passion, but making sure that passion is fueling your days and fueling your life, right? And that you're moving based on something internal that is not being necessarily pushed around by the external things that you can't control, but that you're living a life with passion, and that you're combining that and holding yourself to a sense of urgency that doesn't let you just think about what you would like to do or who you would like to be or how you would like to make a difference or an impact, but actually makes you put some feet on your faith and start taking steps toward accomplishing what you were put here on this earth to accomplish, so that you're not just walking around as an oxygen thief, sucking up oxygen, emitting carbon dioxide, and having a footprint on the planet, but it's not deep enough that anybody actually remembers your existence. And again, it's not about, this isn't in any way necessarily about fame or notoriety, but it's about maximizing the time and the moments that you have on the planet and having the greatest impact that you can have, because that's what we're here for. And again, it doesn't matter. The career choice doesn't matter. None of those things really matter. It's just really about being a person of passion, having a sense of urgency, and making a difference because people are depending on it. The greatness that is in you is not just for you. Did you get that? The greatness that's in you is not just for you. It's for other people. It's for the community that you live in. It's for your family. It's for people that you don't even know yet. And that's the reality that, well, for one, that's the reality I believe in, but it's also the reality that I want to live in for myself and for the people around me. But then a lot of people struggle with this challenge when you talk about passion and living passionately and having this sense of urgency. You know, there are people that are saying, you know, I've been working this job for 20 years, or I've been doing this, or I've been doing this because, you know, this is what I've always done, or this is how I can make money. And, you know, I can't even really tell you. And here's the thing, and I might just do this, you know, I might just over the next month walk up to 100 people and ask them, what are you really passionate about? How many people do you think can give a clear answer to that question if just asked on the spot without preparing? How many people do you think can say, this is what I'm passionate about? This is what I really care about and how I really want to make a difference? You know, probably, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do that. And I'll just take my recorder around and just start walking up to people and ask them and see how many people have a clear answer about what their passion is. I think we could all think about it and come up with something. But what is that? If there is that one thing that really drives you, and where if you could be great, and you can, by the way, what is that one thing that you would really go after and that you would really do? So we talk about that. We talk about the passion. We talk about that you have to have a sense of urgency so that you're moving the needle every single day, that you're doing and accomplishing things that are allowing you to really see progress in your passion. But let's back up to the person that, you know, and not in any judgmental way, but, you know, I've been working my job. I've been doing what I have to do. I've been raising kids. I've been going to school. I've been, you know, doing all of these other things. And, you know, and I haven't really thought about passion. I just been thinking about paying the bills. I just been thinking about, you know, getting promoted. I've been thinking about all of these other things that life requires of me on a day-to-day basis. I don't even know how to reconnect with my passion. I don't even really know that I have passion. Well, you do, but let's dig in a little bit. Let's see if we can find our way to your passion and find our way to helping you connect with that. And so, you know, the first thing, you know, just let me give you some steps. And listen, if this is something that, you know, that you want to talk about, you'd like to be coached through, man, I'd love to have that conversation with you. So get up with me. I'm easy to find. My name is Urshel. You can find me anywhere on the internet because there's not a whole lot of people out there competing for that name. But they should be, because it's a great name. So here's the first thing. It's really starting with the foundation of, you know, what are the things that you really, not on a superficial level, what are the things that you really do care about? Take some time and just think about that. You know, I remember, you know, one time, interestingly enough, I remember one time in Philadelphia when I lived there, there was a young, aspiring Amway salesperson that came up to me. I was coming out of the gym, just finished a workout, and he caught me in the front of the gym, and he said, can I ask you a question? You know, he had his little script memorized, and he said, if you could do anything in the world and your family be taken care of, and every day you could just do one thing, and you could live a good life, and your family could travel, what would you do? And I said, man, I'd wake up every day, and I'd go to where crowds of people are, and I'd just stand around and talk to people. And I'd try to make a difference in their lives by just talking to them. And that didn't really fit with the script, and he kind of looked at me for a second, perplexed, and so I had to remind him that he was in the middle of a sales pitch. And but you know, here's the thing: that's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about being the right man at the right time, having the right words to change the world. And if that world today is you know, one person or 1,000 people or 10,000 people, I'm okay with that. I just want to be the person that has the right words at the right time. You know, a word fitly spoken is better than apples of gold and settings of silver. I've remembered that since I was a kid. So that right word and the timing is important to me. So here's the thing. Let's walk through this. Create a foundation. Take some time and just think about what you're passionate about. But then don't just think about what it is that you're passionate about. Take some time, next step, to think about yourself. What are your personal qualities? What are the things that you have? What are the things that are unique to you that match you up to the thing that you're passionate about? Why is it? What do you bring to the table? And to the entrepreneurs that I work with, one of the things we talk about is, every entrepreneur, and I think that this is good for all of us, needs to know two things. What's your superpower and what's your kryptonite, right? What is the thing that if you were able to put this on display and use this makes me, I'm better than most, or I'm better than everyone at this. What is that thing that really you're really innately good at? Because that's a part of it. And that's not all of it, but don't neglect whatever your superpower is. And, don't also ignore whatever your kryptonite is. What is the thing, if I'm an entrepreneur and this is my business, what is the thing that if this goes unchecked, and if I don't think about this or put some action or get some help in this area or protect myself in this area, what's my kryptonite? What's the thing that will make me fail despite my passion if it's not considered, right? And, so I may be, a person that has a lot of vision and a lot of direction and a lot of fire, and urgency is not an issue for me, but my organization really, really, really gets me in trouble. Then maybe the first or the next person I hire, somehow I need to bring someone in that likes a checklist and that likes to keep things organized, and so that they can protect me from allowing my kryptonite from taking me down. And once you've kind of done this introspective part, right, of who am I? What am I really passionate about? What do I really bring to the table? Then write it. Do something that gets it outside of your head, outside of your thoughts, and something that now you can put your eyeballs on. You can put some other people's eyeballs on, and create a purpose and a vision. In the Bible it says, write the vision and make it plain so that whoever reads it can run with it. And so, if you're going to be doing the running, write it down. Craft a statement that really helps you see that. If you've been listening to me, if you know me, you know where being the right person at the right time, saying the right words to change the world, you know where it came from. And so that's something that stays in front of me so that I can refocus, and I haven't always been focused on that one thing. And so, give yourself a purpose and a vision, something to shoot for. So now that you can add to that purpose and vision, passion, and then you can fuel it with that sense of urgency and start to see things happen. And then, here's the thing, and this is, as a Marine, as a military person, here's something that we all know. No battle plan survives first contact. Every time you set up a battle plan and you say, this is how we're going to take that hill, this is how we're going to overcome this situation, this is what we're going to do, the enemy always gets a vote. So the minute you embark on your battle plan, there's going to be opposition. Plan for it, and overcome the obstacles. Some of them you can predict, some of them you can't. But either way, make a decision that when you encounter challenges, you're going to pivot, you're going to readjust, you're going to have that internal and emotional GPS that says that, there's traffic jam here, and so I'm going to have to reroute a little bit, but the destination stays the same. I'm not going to get discouraged because there's an obstacle or a roadblock, because that's just a part of it. It's going to happen. You're going to experience those challenges and those roadblocks. Couple more things. We got less than a minute and a half. So much good stuff, man. We'll have to keep going with this next week. Understand that when you go through this process and you decide that you're going to do that Michael Jackson thing and make a change and start with the man in the mirror and all of that, that it's going to require a new mindset. Even when you've made a decision that this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to work out. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Even by doing the right things over and over again, your mindset doesn't instantly change. You have to retrain the way you think about things. And part of that comes by doing different things and then allowing that to change the way that you think, to change your perspective, to realize that the external is not more important than the internal, right? And so that you have to be inwardly driven and motivated to have the greatest internal and external impact. So allow your mindset to change. And most importantly, before we bounce out of here, do something every day. Do something every day that is driving you closer and closer and closer to that level of greatness that you want to become your new normal. And that new normal will never let you be static or stationary or apathetic about your life and living your life again. I believe that we were all created for greatness, and we all have a passion burning on the inside of us. Let's work together, make that happen. My name is Urshel. This is Urshel Speaks. We'll see you next week. Tell somebody they need to be here. Talk to you soon.